going to be explaining igneous, sedimentary rocks, and metamorphic rocks. Igneous rocks are usually found near volcanoes in islands that used to have volcanoes, because they're formed when the volcanoes erupt and the lava comes down and it settles and it cools into rock called obsidian, which is a igneous rock. And I can't think of any uses of igneous rocks, but they're probably one of the most interesting rocks. But I think sedimentary rocks would be more interesting to me, because I'll tell you why later. But igneous rocks are pretty interesting, like pumice, which is a rock that has a lot of holes in it. Now the sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks usually made out of sediments like one-slipping things, like fossils, and particles of rocks, sand, and like dirt and stuff like that, which would be sediments. And those sediments would be pressed together so hard in a small little group that they would be pressed together so hard that they get squished together, and that would be formed into a sedimentary rock. Like I can't think of it now. But there's many sedimentary rocks, igneous rocks, and metamorphic rocks. And then you have sedimentary rocks are used for like schools, buildings, a lot of things that you use, and you could go outside and find them. And now the metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks can be made out of igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, all the rocks you find, because those rocks would break apart, and then the metamorphic rocks, with heat, time, and pressure, extreme heat, time, and pressure, that the heat is so extreme and the pressure is so extreme that it squishes those rocks together, kind of like the sedimentary rocks. But the metamorphic has so much power with the extreme heat and pressure that it squeezes it, and it would put igneous rock and sedimentary rock that put together to make a metamorphic rock. And metamorphic rocks, they're probably cool too, but as I said, I like sedimentary rocks more. It's because to me they're more interesting because they sometimes have fossils in them. And there's also something called a geologist, which I didn't mention in the beginning. He studies rocks. Like, he takes fossils, he studies them, and he takes, like, sometimes he has the fossils and he finds them in sedimentary rock, and then he studies the sedimentary rock and the fossil. And all those things include rocks and minerals. And minerals are important to rocks because minerals form rocks. There's something called a rock cycle. That is the cycle of how rocks form and how they form. Like, metamorphic goes into igneous, and igneous goes into sedimentary, and sedimentary goes into metamorphic. Pretty much, because metamorphic rock goes into magma, and then it goes into igneous rock, and the igneous rock goes into sediments, goes into sedimentary rock. And that all includes cooling and like weathering and erosion and heat and pressure and a lot of stuff like that. So, this was made by me, Preston Scott Nichols. I'm in 3rd grade. That some of you people might think that's impressive for me to know all this stuff, but I'm in advanced classes, so that doesn't make that much to me. I'm not bragging. I am, sorry. And that's all I have on the rocks, minerals, and the rock cycle and geologist for now. Yeah, for now. I'll know more later. And I'll see you next time. And I'll probably be explaining something else and maybe even more about geologic sedimentary rocks and metamorphic rocks and igneous rocks and minerals and fossils. And fossils, just to tell you, sometimes form in mud when like dinosaurs die and they fall over, and then it has a lot of weathering and it's covered up by dirt and rocks, and then you find the bones, and sometimes you find the whole body, which that would make a fossil. And that's it for today, and my name is Preston Scott Nichols, and I hope you liked the video. Bye.